Welcome to the first season of the Bonecast, a first-of-its-kind podcast sharing stories about the trombone with the people who love it most. I'm your host, Gracie Westergaard, and I'm so excited to share 6 amazing episodes with you covering a wide variety of topics. Starting this season, we'll look into the history of one of the most infamous trombone excerpts and hear from some top orchestral players in Columbus, Ohio, about why it continues to challenge players decades later. They say,
initially, it's probably more of a mental thing for most of us trombone players, seeing that and knowing what a challenge it is.
The biggest problem for me was always the first B flat, of course.
And playing excerpts can feel very different in auditions compared to live performance.
For an audition, I do it exactly how it's written.
Again, in the orchestra, it just works really well. You get into the music and just enjoy the moment.
But Bolero doesn't just live in audition rooms or concert halls.
The first time I heard Bolero was in the movie 10. I really understood it to be like this very hot and romantic piece of music.
Together with Tony Weinkel, Vlad Pedrichev, and Bob Parker, we unpack why Bolero has become such an obsession for trombone players, and why audiences everywhere seem to love it. We'll stay in Columbus for episode 2 and explore the career of one of the city's most famous jazz trombonists, and talk about how he started his famous jazz orchestra. We'll also hear from some Capital University students about how having access to this ensemble has helped advance their careers.
I don't have anything like that where I'm from, and it's cool that there's just something like that every week in Columbus.
The vibe right away is like levels above any college ensemble I've ever been in. Playing there, I don't even know, it's almost indescribable. It's akin to playing your first concert ever.
And we'll get to hang out with a few trombonists in FJO too.
I get to play with people that I've known for 30 years. So it's like coming home.
Everybody that's on the bandstand is not here for money. They're here to play. They're here to perform.
It's pretty clear that the jazz scene in Columbus has something special. Continuing the season with repair technician Mick Geronimo, we'll discuss what happens when you accidentally damage your trombone slide. From everyday student accidents,
people start fighting with trombone slides, that sort of thing,
and why repair experience matters more than people think.
Hammer tap, $1. Knowing where to hit it, $999.
Episode 5 features trombone players with a connection to fitness. Sam Woodhead shares his experience with CrossFit in the United States Army.
I thought I was in pretty good shape versus the average person because I'm in the Army. I just taken my Army fitness test. But I remember showing up to that class and absolutely getting my butt handed to me.
Caroline Juster talks about building a CrossFit and coaching business.
And at a certain point, I was just like, why not just give training a real shot? Clearly, people have figured it out. Clearly, it's possible. So, why can't I be one of those people?
And Vicky Garcia explains how she incorporates fitness, nutrition, and the Alexander technique into her playing.
You know, the Alexander technique is not something I just apply in trombone playing. It's something that I also apply in my fitness. I apply the technique in all aspects of my playing and in my life.
Finally, we'll conclude the season with the people who helped bring the trombone into the 21st century, though not in the way you might expect. 3 former Aberdeen High School students and their teacher will tell the story of how they created the trombone emoji.
This project that we had worked on 5 years ago and forgotten about was being talked about everywhere, and I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
And it felt very surreal that something I actually helped design is going to be in the hands of millions of people.
Why do they have a saxophone, not a trombone emoji? This is an outrage.
With so many stories to share, what are you waiting for? Tune in next Thursday and join us for the first episode of the Bonecast.